how will these overnight cues impact our own markets? We have a research team joining in to tell you just that. What is the trade setup looking like, the stocks that are likely to be in the news, and the action from the F&O space as well. Hey guys, a very good morning to both of you. Sudarshan, let me come across to you first up. Well, it was a mixed handover. What is the market setup for our own markets?
That's right. So, morning, Sonal. Well, the handover that you've got from global markets looking largely mixed at this point. For the US market on Tuesday, after a range-bound session, S&P 500 and Nasdaq managed to record gains, while the blue chip index Dow Jones snapped 3-day gaining streak to close in the red. At stock levels, though, we saw some sharp reaction to earnings on both the sides. Netflix, Verizon and United Airlines have surged, while 3M and Lockheed Martin have slipped after their quarterly results. Coming to our market, we saw sharp cuts on Tuesday with weakness seen across the board except a few pharma names. And the fall was severe, especially in broader markets. Nifty Bank fell nearly 1,500 points and mid-cap index more than 2,000 points from their intraday highs. And this led to BSE listed companies erasing market cap of nearly 8 lakh crore rupees on Tuesday. At stock level, the biggest weighted stock, HDFC Bank, remains weak. Yesterday, it contributed almost 50% to the fall of Nifty Bank and dragged Nifty by nearly 90 points. Amongst other names besides HDFC Bank, there were some PSU companies that saw profit booking after recent run-up. Even at institutional levels, big basket selling was seen. FIs sold shares of more than rupees 3,000 crore, while the buy figure for DIS was just rupees 200 crore. For today, GIFT Nifty at this point is indicating a start with healthy gains. Keep an eye on companies that will be reporting earnings. Some of them are Bajaj Auto, Balkrishna Industries, Canara Bank, Tata Steel, Tech Mahindra and TVS. Also, we'll be watching stocks like Z Entertainment and Polycab that come out of F&O band today.
Okay, all right. So a couple of those names which will be on our radar, but there are a lot many. Hormaz is joining us now this morning to list out the stocks in focus. Hey, good morning.
Morning, Sonal. And a stock, when it falls 30% in a day, the others don't really matter, but we'll keep an eye out on all the other names as well, starting off with Axis Bank, where the numbers were mostly in line with expectations. The deposit growth was the highlight of the quarter, but the NIMs that fell to a 5-quarter low, so we'll keep an eye out on that. Pidilite, is the consumer business reported a volume growth of 10.3% compared to expectations of 8 to 10%, but the management said that the rural and small town markets are outpacing the growth in the urban markets. United Spirits, the operational performance was strong. EBITDA was beating estimates. The margins at 16.2%, also higher than the 14.5% expectation. The management also said that the sequential demand momentum, although muted, but the premiumization trend continues. Havells was a miss on all fronts. The management also said that the consumer demand remains subdued, though the recent trends are suggesting some recovery. But although the infrastructure-led demand remains robust, the consumer lighting business still remains impacted due to the LED price deflation. Indus Towers will be the one that, although it reported results, the commentary though on Vodafone Idea is the key. They are saying that Vodafone Idea's fundraising plans have not materialized till date, and they have not made the committed payments pertaining to the outstanding amount due as of the 31st of December 2022. Among other stocks that will be reacting to earnings include Glenmark Life, Tata Elxsi, Sona BLW, and also in focus will be Aster DM, which has received the shareholder approval to separate the GCC business from its India operations, and they also said that they are looking to expand its India capacity by adding almost 1,500 beds in the next 2 to 3 years. And lastly, keep an eye out on BLS International, where its unit BLS E-Services has filed its RHP with the Registrar of Companies for its upcoming IPO, and the 10% of the issue size is reserved for existing shareholders. Back to you.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Hormaz, for that list. Finally, all the cues from the F&O space. Mangnam is joining us now. Hey, Mangnam.
Good morning. So, yesterday was a very weak day of trade. No two ways about it. We saw a big decline in all the indices. The mid-cap index was the worst hit with a 3% cut. And the intensity of the fall is determined by how much we fell from the highs, and there the Nifty saw a 500-point decline from the highs. That's as much as we saw in the last 4 trading sessions itself from the highs. However, the FII data did not seem to suggest that there was a big sell-off, volume-led sell-off. 3,000 crores worth net sell by FIIs. The DII is bought about 214 crores. Cross volumes by the FIs were rather high, close to around 27,000 odd crores. In index futures, one would have imagined that the FIs would go hammer and tongs on the short side. That wasn't to be. In fact, they bought around 186 crores in index futures. They added a few long positions and covered some short positions as well. As a result of which, FIIs who are net short on the index futures are still net short by about 47%, Remember, the long positions had fallen to 46% in the previous trading session itself. The important part, however, the GIFT Nifty is indicating a positive start, and on the way up, we may face some resistance. 21,300 call on the Nifty is extremely active for a premium of 73 odd rupees, telling you levels upwards of 2350 to 2370 may face some resistance. On the way up, the 21,400 call also is extremely active. Now, it is the Jan series expiry tomorrow for both Nifty as well as Nifty Bank, and ahead of that, the Nifty put call ratio is at 0.74. Usually, the market bottoms out anywhere around 0.68 to 0.7, so that is something that we will have to keep an eye out on as well. The bunch of stocks that we'll be watching out for, the big purge that happened in the mid-cap index yesterday, Z, after a big decline yesterday, is out of F&O band. So let's see where that goes. And a bunch of other stocks as well, which are out of F&O band, include the likes of ABFRL, which also saw a big purge yesterday. We saw Delta Corp and Polycab, all of them exiting F&O band. So those will be the stocks which we'll be watching out for.
Okay, all right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us and prepping us up for this trading day ahead.